In our quest for authentic Midwestern cuisine, we've come to the newly revitalized South Loop, where we're visiting Mike Foley's Printers Row restaurant. Mike, thanks for coming back. And
David, how are you?
Good, good. Mike is probably the creator in this local area for Midwestern foods, and I'd like you to just talk about it. Tell us, what is Midwestern food?
I don't know that question and answer yet. I'm trying to solve it myself. But I will say that it's a part of the ingredient base that we have here in the Chicagoland area. And actually, as the city keeps branching out further and further and further, it's hard to figure out where was the farmland and where actually is the city ending. So now we're going through a whole different kind of thing.
In your own words, what would you call American cooking? I mean, I've heard James Beard talk about it, I've heard this one. What is your words for our audience today, what you call American food?
Well, it's a hard thing to discuss in, just a shorter period of time, but to me, anything that we're putting on the plate that you'll see later on is American food at Printers Row. You take the city, you take the country, you break it into 6 different sections, and you expand from the Pacific Northwest into the New England area, the Tex-Mex areas, the California areas, Southern area, and the Midwest. And all those ingredient bases come up to what is American. Don't forget, we're only about 200 years in our cooking. Other countries of the world are about 1,000 years. American cooking isn't just one thing. It's layers. You've got country cooking, rural cooking, you've got what they do in the households. I mean, after all, you do pay an extra price to come to a menu restaurant. It's important to remember that the city cooking will always be the haute cuisine of the countryside. And whether it's ethnic food or whether it's regional food, it'll have its heights depending upon where you go. Cooking is whatever you're putting in the pot that comes from the area and whatever you're cooking in a great sense. And I guess we just look at American cooking as what is good cooking and bad cooking. And if you take that little vignette, as I said earlier, about breaking the country down into 6 different regions, we're sitting in a great metropolitan area like Chicago, and people want a good plethora of dishes from all over the world. And Printers Row does that.
Great. I'm meeting my friend Sandy Kagan here from the Lerner paper. She's the fashion editor. So why don't you take me on a quick tour of your restaurant and before she comes, okay? Thank you. So we'll see you a little later. Now, one day you'll have this down to a science.
Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll send you to good health and
yes,
to congratulations. Your forte is fashion. You write a fashion article every week. What, is there a Midwestern fashion?
Not really. Fashion is universal. What there is, as is with food, there's a Midwestern attitude towards fashion.
What's that?
And I think a lot of it is precipitated, David, by our climate in which we live. We live in really, truly 4 seasons. I know people don't think about it as 4 seasons, but we do live in 4 seasons. And as with food goes along clothing, we dress according to the weather. As we eat according to the weather, I mean, you would not be sitting down and eating corn right now because corn is not in season. It's very indigenous to the Midwest, and we all know that the corn harvest comes at the end of summer, and that's when everyone wants corn, as with the apple harvest. It's the same with clothing. If you live in the city, your lifestyle and the way you're going to dress and the way you're going to eat and the way you're going to drink is totally different than what you would do if you lived in the country. Your life gets more casual. The way you display your furnishings, your food, your fashion becomes much more casual. Whereas in the city, we have a tendency to want to feel very elegant. I mean, you walk into a restaurant like Mike's, and you want to dress for dinner. You want to dress for the ambience. You don't want to come in a pair of cutoffs or blue jeans. Nobody says by today's standards that ties have to be worn everywhere, but a beautiful turtleneck and a sport jacket adds to the ambience of the way you want to dine.
You'll want to wear something loose because I know what he's making, and he's prepared a medley of American and Midwestern cuisines.
That'll be fun.
Here's to you, Sandy.
Here's to you, David, and here's to Midwest food.
Backstage at the Printers Row restaurant with Chef Al Sternweiler. Thank you, Alex.
How are you?
Good. I said you're going to give me a little lesson here today?
I thought you were going to give me a lesson.
We're going to try. What do you got for us here?
We're going to start off with a little bit of risotto.
Okay, let's serve that up.
Appetizer.
That looks great.
Put a little in the center of the bowl here. Got some corn in there. Okay, so you got to tell me what we got here.
Squash.
Close. Little carrot soup we're working on. There we go.
I'm so embarrassed.
All right. Doing good so far.
Thank you. I haven't spilled anything. That's the trick, you see.
Okay.
One little drop.
We'll give him a little more.
There you go.
We like hearty portions here. This is a little basil oil that we flavored with ginger. There you go. Wow. All right.
Hey, star.
Not bad. Not bad. You're a chef already. This is these are tomatoes that we've done. We put them in the oven and we've cooked them until the skin got black on the outside. All right. Okay. Nice roasted tomatoes. Then we take that black skin off. All right. I think you should try these too.
All right. Where's my spoon? I have an official spoon. There you go.
We got it. We put a little basil and olive oil in there.
You're missing something.
You know what to use one of these?
Sure. No, I know how to watch. I do that better, though.
Okay.
I have a great recipe I should share with you for Campbell's soup, by the way.
Yeah? Can opener, milk, tomato.
That's it? Yeah.
This is chicken stock that we reduced down a little bit, and then we just thicken it with whole grain mustard. Beautiful. There. Go for it, all the way around. Come on.
Whoa, a spot.
I don't believe this.
No, this is not as easy job as it looks, but it pays well.
Okay, so that's okay. We put that there like that, ready to go. And this is the one of Printer's Row's chicken dishes. One of our favorite desserts at Printer's Row here, by me and also by our customers, is the brulee. I got this iron here that we made in a factory, and this sucker gets really red hot. And then we cook the sugar. And there you have it. This is one of our more popular desserts at the Row. See that? Check that out. The sugar gets, people go wild over this.
I think you'll like my cooking.
Well, I'm going to let you know very shortly. I heard you were in the kitchen with the chef.
Well, it's true. Oh, look, well, my favorite waiter's here.
Oh, look at that.
Michael, I'm honored to have this.
Now, what is this?
This is the little Creole risotto. Little toast points and some fresh okra for you. Toast points are from cornbread.
Fresh okra. I haven't had fresh okra in a long time. What a treat.
Now, this is that delicious soup. It was made by...
You would take the soup. You would take the soup.
Now, David, you made this all in your own little hands, right?
That's true. I absolutely did.
Okay.
A
Beautiful
little carrot soup
presentation.
within the basil ginger oil.
Beautiful presentation.
I personally hand-dressed this chicken.
This chicken came to you from the New South Loop. Remember that name, New South Loop.
The New South Loop. Let me help you there, Michael.
Here we go. Boy, this is a feast to dine and dress for.
Well, now this is... Why don't we put that right in the center, this creme brulee, because that is just a work of art.
Oh, you would have to do this to me. I'd have to get into my clothes tomorrow.
Now, you jogged or you bicycled how far today?
I did 2 miles on my treadmill. I can eat this. Interesting how the top is caramelized. It really is. Did you do that?
No, I didn't do that, but
Looks like it's fit for a king with
I watch. It's too
caramel
bad there's
corn.
not smell-o-vision, because this is great.
Well, do we get to do?
Let's do.
Can we dig in?
We want to make sure you know the kitchen appreciates your help today.
Way to go, Chef Dave. I want to thank you all.
Wonderful statement. Can we dig in now?
Let's go.
Let's go.
See, I'm going to do my little spoon now. No slurping.